Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Locked On Bulls. On today's episode, we'll be talking about Dalen Terry and his summer league game. Listen, Dalen Terry balled out. So we're going to be talking about that, how the Bulls are going to finish summer league against the 76ers since they did miss out on the summer league championship game. And then lastly, we'll be ending it talking about DeAndre Ayton's contract after he was matched by the Phoenix Suns. We'll get into all that and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
This is Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. That's Big Yella, a.k.a. Pat the Designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls Central. Bro, it's so funny that we turn hate into jokes. Like, we haven't done JV out in a minute. We got to do JV with a dub.
We got to get some jackets.
Yeah, it was by the season. We got to get that. But we're starting off today's episode talking about Dalen Terry's summer league game, bro. He balled out in this game. Like, I'm over 20 points scored. Probably his best all-around summer league game, flashing a lot of that skill set that is going to turn him into a heck of a player potentially for the Chicago Bulls. Pat, what did you make of this game?
It was one of those things, right, where since AK has said we want to see him score more than him pass, all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, Dalen Terry's balling like this, right? Like, and maybe it's because Ben Mathurin was on his team and you didn't get to see him shoot the ball as much. It wasn't his role in college, which is how a lot of college games go. A lot of Bulls fans didn't know that Dalen Terry had this in him. Dalen Terry is able to, when he gets downhill, he looks really good finishing through the contact, taking the contact, putting the ball. Now, I don't know if he's going to be a guy that's going to be taking your head off when he's coming down, putting you in a bucket and all that. I don't know if he has that kind of lift. He looked pretty rim grazer-ish on the two-hand jams that he's done. But it really shows that he's got a really nice offensive game. And the fun thing about a Dalen Terry on this team, right, is like you want a guy that can give you that production, that can give you that off the bench, especially with our bench points, right? Like that's the part that I'm looking at. And I'm like, okay, we can maybe get some more bench scoring than I expected out of him. But he's still bringing everything else in these games. When I live called the game yesterday, you still had Dalen Terry tipping the ball, Dalen Terry getting his hand in there for a steal, Dalen Terry, big block on Mark Williams off of the glass out of nowhere. Mark Williams, by the way, was looking lost out there.
Listen, a lot of Bulls fans, including me, wanted the Bulls to draft Mark Williams. And while this is Summer League, let me be clear before people get to typing, this is Summer League, but in this game, Dalen Terry completely outshined and outworked Mark Williams in every facet of the game. That's not even up for discussion. Now, one of the things that I do want to also talk about with Dalen Terry is that what I noticed is that he's a much better. I think in the last game, even though he had some success at it, they try to make him an isolation scorer. That's not his game. It's motion. If you can get him, like you said, coming downhill, coming off screens, things like that, when the offense is moving as a total and there's motion in the offense, he is a very dangerous player. I don't know if that skill set for him to be an isolation type scorer is there yet. And he probably won't have many opportunities to do that in the regular season anyway. So we don't even worry about that part of his game right now. But the way that he plays team basketball, to your point, the way that he's always around the ball, his defense, top notch, shooting the ball, 2 for 2 from 3-point range, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, a gorgeous block on Mark Williams, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
Dalen Terry is showing exactly what is probably going to get him minutes early in the season is the fact that he just does a little bit of everything. And there's an absolutely role like that for somebody coming off the bench. And as you look to develop him and his skill set a little bit more, one of the things that a lot of Bulls fans talked about is like, hey, this guy isn't like he got good shooting percentages in college, but he didn't take very many attempts of this in that. It's looking like, again, he needs to work on his shot, needs to work on that mechanics. I think he needs to make that shot a little bit faster because he's going to get blocked on the NBA level. But you're starting to see the bones of exactly why AK and Eversley thought so highly of this guy to where they picked him at the 18th pick when there were some more ready-to-go prospects like EJ Liddell or like a Nikola Jovic who may people looked at as having more upside. Dalen Terry is showing And that's what Summer League is about, right? It's about learning these guys' skill set, not necessarily the impact they'll have at the NBA level, but what Dalen Terry does on the court. He's going to be one of those players where you can put in on almost any lineup, and he's going to figure out how to be effective.
And there's two things that Bulls fans can look forward to. By the way, I don't want to see no good thing we didn't draft EJ Liddell's in the
please.
comment.
That's
bro,
disgusting, bro.
that's bogus, bro. Like,
yeah.
I've seen that on a couple of videos. Y'all got to chill with that. Like, I understand, right? Like, we feel like we dodged a bullet on that or something like that. But like, my man's tore his ACL, his career could be done because he's an older player who tore his ACL, right? So y'all relax on that. His career ain't gonna be done. But I mean,
ACL injuries are not what they used to be.
Yeah, I might have
he
taken that a little far.
He wasn't the hugely athletic player. He can jump, but it's not like he was jumping out the gym.
Well,
so yeah,
it's gonna be tough, man. He was a second round pick too. Like, if he was a first round pick, it would make more sense. But as a second round pick,
I mean, they may cut him next season.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. If we be in 100%, they may actually cut him because I don't think they're held to keep. They probably. Well, no, they would have had to sign him to a deal if he was playing already. So I don't know. I don't know how that went, how that all goes, man. But relax on that. But back on Dalen Terry, right? Like, the thing that I want Bulls fans to kind of look into and really understand is, as much as we can say about Billy Donovan as a head coach with superstars and stuff like that, look at Billy Donovan's track record with development.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how Billy Donovan has developed so many young guys. Look at how Billy Donovan has got guys to move in the right direction, right? Like, that's another thing that goes into this, right? Like, Billy Donovan doesn't shy away from using his young guys. I think Dalen Terry's got an opportunity, and there was a part of me that was like, I don't know how this guy's gonna find minutes if Kobe plays well. But then when you see him doing all the little things, very much like an Alex Caruso does, or very much like a like the Draymond Green, the Joakim Noah, and he's bringing that intensity of like, no, you're not going to push us around, that edge. I think you have to find time for this kid, and that's going to go into the development. It's going to go into how he's performing on the court. But I think there's an energy that Dalen Terry brings to a team that hasn't been talked about, right? Like, this Bulls summer league team looks tougher than the regular Bulls team, and it's got Marko Simonovic on.
Yeah, which we need to talk about Marko as well. To follow up, I do want to mention EJ Liddell actually was not under contract by the New Orleans Pelicans. He's not signed his contract yet. Now, the Pelicans are covering his medical care because he was playing for them when he got hurt, and they may still sign him to a contract. It says that they were considering signing him to a two-way contract. So, unfortunately, EJ Liddell didn't even have a deal. That sucks, man. But
I hope he get it.
Yeah, I hope they give him a deal, people.
Pelicans, y'all ain't got nothing else going for you. You got something.
They may be trading for
Kevin
Durant.
Still don't match his body for me. I'm sorry.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Marko Simonovic in this game, 17 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. What do you think about Marko Simonovic? At this point, I'll say what I think real quick. He's way too good to play in G League and has a lot of questions left as far as in the NBA level, but I think you got to throw him out there and let him figure it out at this point. Marko Simonovic being in the G League again is not going to do anything for him. It's not going to do anything for evaluating him as an NBA prospect because we know what he can do in G League. Yeah. At this point, Marko needs to be on the NBA roster and give it. And the Bulls, keep in mind, Bulls didn't sign a true backup for. This could be your Patrick Williams backup here. And I think the Bulls need to actually give him minutes and start him off with 8 to 10 minutes, see what he can do. But I think that's where the point we are at in Marko's evaluation. But what do you think, Pat?
I think that makes sense, and it's fine, right? Because to me, here's the thing that, again, right, another summer league thing that doesn't really take effect in the real season. Marko's playing the 5 here. He's going up with bigger bodies. I think this is the part that people haven't paid attention to. And yeah, one game against what was his name? Sims? Was it Sims from New York? Sims dominated him. He did. Okay.
Tough. He's a 3-year NBA player who's gone through a whole training camp and thing. Like, so
definitely.
Yeah, he should. Yeah.
But also on top of that, right? Like, Marko's not going to be playing the 5 for us. That's another thing you got to take into account. Marko's going to be our backup 4. And there was a couple people in the live yesterday that was like, how's Marko going to play the 4? He doesn't move well enough on defense. Marko's not a great defender. Marko's a better defender than I expected, but he's still not going to be a great defender no matter what. That's why you're going to see Marko Simonovic next to Andre Drummond. And oh, snap. Now Marko doesn't have to do as much work. That's going to open things up for Marko's game at the NBA level. But I like what I'm seeing from him in Summer League. And it's like you said, right? Like, Marko's at a level where What did Scalabrine say, right? When them kids said they wanted to play him, he's like, I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Marko is, right? Like,
Yeah.
Marko's dominant at Summer League. Marko's dominant in the G League. Marko's dominant overseas. That doesn't mean that he's going to be the best player in the world at the NBA level, but you still got to show us that you can produce at the NBA level. And I'm going to be real with you. I think through 3 quarters yesterday, Marko had like 13 and 10. I said if he averaged that for the season, he's a successful pick.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But all right, so next up, we're going to be talking about how the Chicago Bulls are going to be finishing their summer league. But first, I got to talk to you guys about BetOnline. BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's NHL playoffs and Major League Baseball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. And BetOnline remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite sports and events, including MMA, boxing, and golf. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action. BetOnline, it's where the game starts.
Yeah,
all right.
I like that.
And that's why Pat does not get the Built Bar sent to him, because he hasn't done an ad read in 3 days. That's why he doesn't.
It's not me. It's not me.
But so the Chicago Bulls are going to wrap up their summer league against the 76ers Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. And the Bulls, even though they only had 1 loss, did not qualify for the summer league championship game, because summer league championship is weird. It doesn't get based off wins. It gets based off the point differential in which you won the games by, because there are a lot of teams with the same amount of wins. The Bulls had a negative point differential, even though they're 3-1. So they won
30-point blowout to do that. Wait a
so,
minute, though. Hold on. We got to do basic math on this, though.
Yeah.
We lost by 30.
Uh-huh. But then we won
it ended up being 10.
10. Yeah, the game that we were beating them by 30, we ended up only winning by 10. So
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
So
okay.
it is what it is. It's summer league. It doesn't matter. We're gonna get that 5th game anyway against the 76ers. So last game was summer league. And then we have a little bit of a break before training camp officially opens. What are some of the things you want to see from the players that we know are going to be on this roster, and even more so than we know are going to be on this roster? But Marko, Justin Lewis, Dalen Terry, Malcolm Hill, what are some of the things you're looking for from them? I'll tell you what, throw away Malcolm. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I'm looking at McCord Maker. I don't even care. I don't care what Malcolm Hill does. McCord Maker needs to be on the Bulls G League team, bro.
How do we get him there, though? He's too good. Somebody's gonna offer him a 2-way.
I don't know, bro. He's still
good.
raw. We'll see. I mean, at least offer him. You got to see what hey, if another team comes along, offers better, okay, but you at least got to offer him that deal.
Oh, I think he'll get offered a deal for sure, but man, it's going to be tough to see him. I think he definitely gets a 2-way. And the other thing, right, that I'm looking at with I'm gonna be real with you. Like, this is our last G League game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see our guys. Let them sit. Summer league's over. Like, if you're playing in the tournament, right, and something there's a reason to play, I guess, it's fine. But like at this point, right, like it's like I've seen Marko. Marko looks good versus bigger guys. I've seen Dalen Terry. Dalen Terry looks like he's going to be able to get the grasp of the NBA game. Maybe play Justin Lewis just to see kind of what he has, because we haven't seen a game where he's been. Last game, kind of he got more shots up, and was kind of told, all right, go play your game and stuff like that. Left a couple shots short. End up getting a nice poster on like 4 Hornets players, though. Hey, put that in your scrapbook, brother. But like outside of that, right? Like, do we really need to see what Malcolm Hill can do? Do we really need to see what Marko can do, what Dalen Terry can do? Like, I get you don't want to compare it to that, but like it at this point, right? It's summer league. It's not worth the risk of somebody getting hurt.
This is true.
So for me, right, I'd rather see him sit. If they're going to play the game, I want to see we've seen that shift with everybody where the entire game, somebody's had the opportunity to just say, hey, I'm going to be the offensive threat. I would want to see that with Justin Lewis, regardless, because I feel like we haven't seen him get to flash his offensive game as much. A lot of people rocking with Carlik Jones as well. Carlik Jones, Here's the thing. I know he's not going to be on the team, so how many shots he takes kind of irks me, but it's not. But he's also trying to get himself a contract. So
yeah. He's trying to do what he can do, bro. I'm looking, like I said, McCord Maker, I'm really going to be looking at heavily. I do think he's probably going to get I hope that he's going to get a lot of minutes in this last game because, like I said, I don't see because regardless, win or loss, it doesn't matter. Maybe we see the first half from Marko and Dalen Terry, and then after that, everybody, they sit.
Yeah.
So I do want to see big things from McCord Maker. I want to see Javon Freeman Liberty actually have a overall good game, bro. He just hasn't. He just hasn't.
I don't think he's ready yet.
I mean, he's
ready
not
for this stage. I don't think he's ready for. I don't think he's ready for NBA level competition yet. You know what I'm saying? Like he seems like he's got the right body type and right mindset to play, but I don't think the skill set's there versus real NBA defense yet.
I feel it. I want to continue to see Dalen Terry do his off the ball and just everything that he's capable of there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, it's a summer league game, right? So I'm looking for those type of things, the same things that we've basically already seen, but also to gear up and get ready for the first NBA training camp. Bro. And that's what it is.
That's all I'm looking for, man. At this point, get there, which is weird, right? Because I thought there was a whole tournament that went in for the summer league championship, and it's just a game now.
It's just a game. The top two teams get put in the championship game, and then all the teams that didn't make it, that's why the fifth game just got scheduled. Because any team that didn't, the 28 teams that didn't make the championship, they get a fifth game.
Bro, just call the league, bro. What are we doing out here, man? but no, I think the one thing, if I had to say, out of everybody, right, that you want to see is kind of. Or let me ask you this, right? It's phrasing it a little different. Has there been somebody on another team that you feel like the Bulls should be focusing in on that we've seen? That might be an on-the-spot question because you got to kind of remember.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've only watched one other summer league game other than that wasn't played by the Bulls.
No, I'm talking about
from people that we played.
I'm talking about teams we played.
Yeah, I don't know what their contract situations are, so I can't say. Yay or nay on that one. I know for damn sure it's not Jello Ball though. I know that much.
You got so much hate in your heart for Jello, bro.
Bro, I don't. Like I said, it's like with Drake fans. I don't hate Drake at all. It's this fan. It's Jello. It's the Ball. The Ball family stands are the worst people in the basketball community. Again, notice that I said I did not say Ball family fans. I said stands.
Yeah.
Worst people in basketball community. Almost worse than the Bronsexuals, bro. Like they're bad. It's terrible.
I'll give you that, but I don't know if they're worse though. But the thing for me, right, like for what the Bulls need, that's kind of where I was going, right? I saw Jello yesterday and I was like, wow, he looks terrible here. He also looks like he's sick of playing in summer league though. Like he's been in 7 summer leagues at this point.
7, bro.
I wouldn't be mad at going to get a Jello Ball and just throw him on the Windy City Bulls. And if he can play, he can play. If he can't, he can't.
Sometimes I feel like you just like being my antithesis. Because there ain't no way in hell that you saw enough from Jello Ball to and knowing how you look at basketball that you think you want to see. I know you too well.
Nah, but this is the thing. I also don't, right? Like, I don't care about summer league at all. Like I basically believe summer league means absolutely nothing. Dalen Terry could still come out and give me 7 points a game, and I'd be like, fine. And be like, what happened to the dude in summer league? He wasn't playing against LeBron. That's different. But the thing and the reason I say that is because last season, Jello had a great summer league, and they still were like, yeah, you're not gonna play on this team this year. It's like y'all have nothing. Like, so for me, it's more so about it's a power play. You know what I mean? It's a power play. For some reason, LeVar thinks if his 2 brothers on the team, that team's going to end up getting a 3rd brother. I'm not mad if LaMelo comes over this mug and plays with us. You know what I mean?
That's not going to happen.
Hey, LeVar says things, and then things happen. That's all I know.
He also said that Zach LaVine wasn't going to re-sign with the Bulls, and look how that went. He also said before he was interviewed, and he said, hey, if you had a bet on which one of your sons isn't going to make the NBA, he said Jello. So I don't you can't now try to retroactively come back and be like, oh, the Hornets got a superstar. My son, they don't know, bro. You even said that the man wasn't going to make the NBA. I remember everything, bro.
I'm just saying, bro. I don't know if I said he ain't gonna make the NBA.
No. I'm talking about LeVar Ball said that Jello was gonna make the NBA.
Yeah, I'm just saying, bro. Listen, LeVar say stuff about his sons, and it happened. He got all 3 of his kids playing professional basketball. Shout out to LeVar, man. It's a lot of people that hate LeVar. LeVar, y'all realize he got 3 of his sons playing professional basketball like he said he would. Like, that's crazy to me. Even if Jello don't make an NBA team, he's gonna make the G League team.
I mean, yeah, but you could be G League Kobe all day long. Ain't nobody gonna remember you.
Nah, not true. Because what's the old dude from that played on the Lakers that one time? He was like,
that just proves that you don't remember him. Like, you don't even know his name.
It's facts. I know what he looked like though. He good people.
Anyway, and also I just want to keep going my slander. Kofi Cockburn is not an NBA player. It's been proven by this G League. The man's got 2 DNPs in G League. Come on, man. He has been rebounding well when he does get in, though.
I'm confused on that. That's what I was gonna say, right? Like, is it just because they don't expect him to sign him at all? Because in the games that I've seen from Kofi hasn't played awful.
Bro, it's because of how he literally looks like the monsters out there move. Frankenstein from the monsters. That's how he moves out there on defense.
He don't move well. He definitely don't move.
It's like his brain is telling his feet to move, and his feet's like, nah, man, we good.
Yeah, but Tony Bradley made $2 million last year, and Tony Bradley don't move well.
Tony Bradley moves like Zach LaVine compared to Kofi Cockburn.
Don't do my guy Kofi like that, man. It's Illinois over here, man.
But anyway,
Kofi, get on the team, brother.
Yeah, get on the team and not play. Anyway, next up, we're going to be talking about DeAndre Ayton and his contract, man. Let's go ahead and get into that. So...
Get on the team and not play is so disrespectful,
bro.
How am I not the disrespectful one on this show?
Bro? I'm telling you, me and you are gonna play as many minutes as Kofi Cockburn does in the NBA next season.
Dang.
But anyway, off of the Kofi slander, for all of about 20 seconds, it looked like DeAndre Ayton may have been going to the Indiana Pacers. The Phoenix Suns swiftly, after the offer sheet was officially signed, said, "Oh no, we got you. We're gonna match that." DeAndre Ayton signing the largest offer sheet in NBA history. Now he does end up staying with his team. Now I look at it this way: is that because he signed an offer sheet with another team, even though it was a max deal, it's still less than if the Suns offered him a max at 4 years. It's still considerably. The Suns end up saving almost $40 million, especially if you count that 5th year that they could have given him as well. So it just makes more sense. It makes more sense to had matched that offer sheet for the Suns. They do that. They can now trade him as early as January 15th. Now, while DeAndre Ayton does not have a no trade clause, he does have veto power for the first year of that contract. What do you make of the deal, Pat?
Why do you want him there? Like, I get it, right? Like, but just do the sign and trade. It makes no, like, I get, like, strategically it makes sense, but strategically, right, like, you're gonna bring him back to Phoenix where him and his coach clearly don't see eye to eye. The organization has trashed him. He's trashed your organization. What are y'all doing? Like, what is this maximizing that you think you're going to get out of DeAndre Ayton? Like,
easy. I can answer that easily for you. If at that point, once Indiana forced him or signed him to an offer sheet, at that point you can only negotiate with Indiana. Phoenix probably looked at the piece and said, "Hey, we don't want Miles Turner," but now you can move him to a team that's more favorable to you. And if this Kevin Durant situation doesn't get worked out by next offseason, you can move him in keep in mind, the biggest thing that kept the Suns from going after Kevin Durant is the fact of the base year compensation rule, meaning that DeAndre Ayton's contract is first year is $33.25 million, meaning that only about $17 million of that would have counted towards matching Kevin Durant's $40 million salary. Yeah. Now, because that's eliminated as of January 15th, that full $33.25 million counts towards that. This is why they would have had to include Devin Booker in the deal had they done it in a sign and trade form with the Brooklyn Nets. Now that's eliminated. So it makes more sense. He's an asset. You're safeguarding. Hey, listen,
I
everybody's
agree, but
grown here.
also Brooklyn told him we don't want DeAndre Ayton.
No, that's not what happened, bro. What happened is that they couldn't do that deal. They would have to have gotten more. So they probably don't just want DeAndre Ayton, but it was because that they would have had to include that. It's only Devin Booker who they would have been able to include at that point, just to make salaries work. That stopped the deal.
That's still out of okay. It's still a matter of right. Like now you're taking a chance on. I don't know. It's weird, right? Like it's almost like you're taking a chance on playing out the rest of the next season or playing out the rest of the season with a dude that don't want to be there. With a dude that you might not even be able to put in games with your head coach viewing him that way. And he's making $33 million. Like, unless you plan on moving him by mid-season, unless you plan on moving him before the season starts, which at this point, you can't, right? Like, you can't move him for the piece that you want in Kevin Durant. You just signed a dude to a $33 million deal, and you're about to waste a year of it paying him $33 million because your coach don't want to put him in the game. Your coach didn't play him in a game 7.
That's fine, bro. But at the end of the day, he's an asset. Like, and if you look at it like, yeah, you're re-signing somebody who doesn't want to be there, but hey, tough titty. Like at the end of the day, like you don't want to be here. You're gonna play. You're under contract with us.
But that's the problem. Your coach don't want to play him. Monty Williams benched that man.
Okay, don't play him then. That's fine. We just saw a whole year.
Bench?
Bro, it's better than letting them walk for nothing. And then you don't get anything back potentially. This is a business. And one of the things that Adam Silver did say,
I guess.
I mean, and this is the thing. Yes, we do live in the player empowerment era, but these teams are going to start fighting back against certain things that leaves them strapped. Like the Suns' back was against the wall. They didn't want Miles Turner. They did not want Miles Turner. I think that Miles Turner probably could have done good for them, honestly. I think, but they did not want Miles Turner. So rather than force yourself into a deal where you're not happy with the main piece at it to begin with, all right, we're just going to sign you. And they're probably going to play him. Like, I don't think there's no world in which they aren't playing DeAndre Ayton, a player that averaged 17 and 10 for you. You ain't got no built-in replacement for him. They're playing DeAndre Ayton, whether they like it or not. Everybody's grown. You got to do what you got to do. We're going to try to move you. You have veto power for a year. If not, next offseason, we'll send you where we want to send you. But otherwise, let's start working together on seeing where we can get you put in. And January, February, we'll see about that. Until then, let's go out. Let's handle business. This is a job at the end of the day. Let's go out and do our jobs. Everybody. That's not just DeAndre Ayton. That's coaching staff, ownership as well.
And in that process, you waste another year of Chris Paul's 36-year-old career, and he's the main piece that's getting you to these.
But you would have wasted that letting him walk. So you still would have wasted that.
Nah, with Miles Turner, Chris Paul, and I get not liking a piece, right? But we also can't act like Chris Paul doesn't make Miles Turner.
But if you don't like a piece, you might as well keep the piece you know that you don't like either.
Yeah, I guess, but your championship window is till Chris Paul's done.
That's depending on what they get back in the DeAndre Ayton trade. That's depending on what they get back in the DeAndre Ayton trade.
Yeah, I guess if you can go get Kevin Durant, I guess try and make it work. But I don't know about re-signing them. I'd have took the deal that was on the table because at least I know I'm getting back players that want to be there. And you're getting back a haul for DeAndre Ayton as well, right? It's not like you're only sending me back Miles Turner. You're getting back a couple of nice pieces that you can add to this bench. And now you don't have listen, I understand Cameron Payne had some nice time there, but you need some more bench depth shooting the ball there than just Cameron Payne, brother. So I feel like you could have got a nice deal there that would have put you in a better position. The weird part that about the NBA, right, is like the best players aren't always the players that are gonna get you there. I think you could have built out your bench nice. You've still got Devin Booker. You still got Chris Paul. You add Miles Turner to that. That probably puts you because you lost JaVale McGee, and they lost somebody else this offseason, didn't they? Off of their bench, they lost JaVale McGee and they lost. I can't think of it. I think they lost one more person, but I don't know. Hey, shout out to y'all. Shout out to DeAndre Ayton. I'm glad he got his money. 4-year contract is a little more palatable as well for trade teams. I don't know what the deal is going to be that you're going to move him in, though.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. And I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, the business aspect of it is, would they have gotten some pieces back? Indiana does have 3 first-round picks next season. They have their own. They have one from Boston. They have one from Cleveland. But the Phoenix Suns, as you said, they're trying to probably maximize this window of Chris Paul. Yeah, it's good to have future assets, but while I
don't
like
want
I said,
no picks. Send me
yeah,
Tice. Send me Turner. Send me what's shooter that got traded there last year? Is it Buddy Hield? Buddy Hield there now.
Buddy Hield.
Send me Buddy Hield. Send me pieces that I can win with right now.
See, that doesn't move me.
Yeah, but it moves me if I got Chris Paul on the team. Yeah, I mean, I get Miles Turner, who's going to be a big man in pick and roll, doing some nice things. I got Buddy Hield coming off of my bench and not being relied on as a starter, and I got bench as a backup 4. You send me the money ain't gonna work. You're gonna also have to send me some other stuff, but well, maybe that would work actually, because Tyson
that would have. Well, see, that's the thing though, and that keep in mind that's too. Then the Suns would have had to include other things, because keep in mind, $33 million, only $15 million of that counts towards matching. If they had $17 million, if they had did a sign and trade with the Indiana Pacers, bro. So it's not as easy as that. Like, for example, Buddy Hield is $23 million alone. He couldn't have been included in that deal. Couldn't have. Even including Miles Turner's contract means that at that point, the Phoenix Suns have to include other assets to match contracts. And if I'm giving you the better player, I don't want to send out any more players. Like you just said, they just depleted. They lost JaVale McGee. They lost, can't remember, they did lose somebody else.
I don't remember who it was. He must not have been important. We can't remember him.
Looking at the Phoenix Suns from their point of view, why, if we're doing a sign and trade, because of that, I have to send out more players to you for you to send me Miles Turner, and then I'm not getting equal value. Yeah, you can throw in all the picks you want to, but that doesn't give me enough to compete right now. That's not giving it. You're not getting Buddy Hield in that deal at that point in time. So
y'all got screwed.
I mean, that's the issue when you have a restricted free agent that wants to leave. Like, that's the nature of the game, bro.
Y'all got screwed, bro. That's gonna be fun next season, watching them just like not do it. I think he's gonna get thrown out there. I don't think he's gonna be this baller that everybody think he's gonna be. Like, I mean, realistically, he's putting up Vooch numbers with
better defense.
Is he better defensive rating?
He's better defensively.
Now,
okay. He's still not amazing.
Well, I know better defensively,
but
I don't know if his defensive rating was better, because we keep throwing all these players out there that's Vooch. Oh, he a way better defender than Vooch. Be like, you mean with that 115 defensive rating?
Oh, bro, I love hitting people with that. When people because I was actually in your chat, people were like, oh, Miles Turner is a way better defender than Vooch. And I was like, oh, Vooch's defensive rating has been better the last 3 out of the last 5 seasons.
I definitely take Vooch over Miles Turner.
So DeAndre Ayton has a defensive rating for his career of 109. Last season's defensive rating was 105, which is damn near elite.
Better. That's really good. That's really good. I was going to say, for a career, he's 109. He's Vooch. Well, I think Vooch is what? Vooch is I think Vooch was 109, wasn't he? Or 110?
I'm looking it up now. So Vooch for his career. See, I love it when things like this come together. Vooch for his career is 105.8 defensive rating. Listen, let's go. Keep in mind, defensive rating, the lower number is better. I'm going to go over Vooch's last.
I want to be as close to 100 as possible.
100 as possible. In Vooch's rookie season, he was 96.8.
How much he play though?
He was 105. He played 51 games. That's a lot of games. Now, in his second season, ever since then, with his minutes increasing, I'm going to go over just the last 5 seasons of Vooch's defensive rating. You want to hear what this is? So, 2016, 105.3. 2017, 105.9. 2018, 103.2. 2019, 107.2. 2020, 110. Worst of his career. Last season with the Chicago Bulls, 109.6. Vooch is not the as bad a defender as people try to make him out to be.
Yeah, it also helps when you got a regular size power forward next to you guys.
This is true, and that's one thing that we're seeing. So y'all lay off Vooch. I didn't expect to see that 105.8 for a career.
I figured Vooch would be about a 108 for his career. That's pretty good. Now, granted, right, like how averages work, that first year is really bringing him down.
This is true. But I mean, he's still 105. He was 105 or 103 the next 6 seasons after that.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. And also, he had somebody with some size next to him. So, hey, I think now he is getting older. I'll say that. He might be moving a little bit slower, but Vooch ain't no slouch around the rim. Vooch blocks shots. Vooch gets steals. Like, we act like we don't see these things throughout the season. Be like, Vooch be getting cooked on defense. Like, actually, I give Vooch credit. Vooch puts himself on the line, and Vooch is yet to really be mixed up. Vooch had like 7-8 opportunities last season to get crossed up, where he
does pretty good.
I'm on a point guard, and this ain't gonna go well.
Even
and
last
maybe have him going the wrong way, but he don't never touch earth.
When he got switched on Giannis out on the perimeter, I'm like, oh, here we go. I don't think Giannis scored on Vooch one time on the perimeter when Vooch was switched on.
Hey, I love it, bro. I be cracking up at it, bro, because we've seen some big men get mixed out here.
Yeah,
Nico Mirotic was constantly on the floor.
We saw Marko get mixed about 10 times, and he only played in 8 games.
Marko hit the floor quickly, bro. Like, dang, brother.
Oh, man.
Crossed up by Carlick Jones out here.
Man, that is hilarious, bro. Hilarious, man. But go ahead, bro. Let's go ahead and close out the show.
Hey, man, follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. Follow us both on everything at Locked On Bulls. Appreciate you follow me showing love.
And you can follow me personally at CEO Haize, that's CEO Haize. And thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen today. Now for your second listen, go and check it on Locked On NBA, where the Locked On experts break down all the latest news, developments, and everything else going on in the NBA in 30 minutes or less. They can be found wherever you get your podcasts. But that's it. For Pat the Designer, I'm Haize. This is Locked On Bulls, and we out.
Yeah, stay safe out there.